everybody. Today we're going to talk about compassion. Compassion is one of my favorite words. It's my favorite way of being. When I was tapped on the shoulder with something not so great, and I went down into that place that only I can see to find that fulfillment and happiness that comes from there, and also to bring out that good side of me, I discovered compassion, and it changed everything. It truly is a source of something purely amazing in life. So I want to start this video by reading a quote that I put in my book, Spiritual 2x4s and Other Wake-Up Calls. Compassion actually is such a big life changer for me as I danced with Arthur, my rheumatoid arthritis, that I wrote a whole chapter on it. And in every chapter in the book, I start with a quote, and I love this one. It's by the Dalai Lama. I need my glasses in order to read. If you want others to be happy, practice compassion. If you want to be happy, practice compassion. The Dalai Lama. It's the most beautiful quote. It's super simple. And actually the practice of compassion with a little bit of work can be super simple too, and awesome, life-changing. A couple weeks ago, I was a counselor at a camp for kids with arthritis. And I saw compassion at work every day for 5 days, all day long. All 66 kids and 20 plus counselors practiced this amazing art of compassion, and it lit up the entire camp. It was simply spectacular to watch. It brought me to tears often, and I still get choked up when I think about it. So it inspired me to make a video about compassion. Kind of duh, since it is one of my favorite things in life. When I reread the chapter on compassion in my book, I thought, well, why reinvent the wheel? Because there's some good stuff in here. I'm just going to read some excerpts from it for you. So the first one is, next to love, happiness is the most sought after emotion. We look to our jobs, loved ones, friends, kids, pets, and much more to bring us joy in life. But the reality is that pure joy, a joy that lasts, is generated from within ourselves. We are the only ones who can create our own ballet of jubilant and graceful leaps that stoke happiness straight from the heart. Forgiveness and gratitude, which I also write about in my book, are other sources of that same kind of happy. Combine those two with compassion rooted in kindness, and you've got a life of awe. It's so easy for us to fall into judgment when we see others who are doing something that maybe is different than our own life or our own thoughts of way it should be. Or perhaps we're judging ourselves. Oftentimes that's where judgment starts. And that judgment is what brings that icky feeling inside that's fueled by anger and hurt, and it bubbles up and it continues to get fueled, and that is the opposite of happiness. But when we bring compassion into play, it's almost what puts out that fire. A friend of mine a few years ago saw me going through this sort of judgment of myself that started from an interaction with somebody else. And he laid his hands on mine and he said, and I'm going to read it because it was so beautiful, when you encounter a person who gets under your skin, just remember, in that body is a beautiful soul on a journey of lessons just like you. Only the lessons look different. Boom! Compassion. It rocked me to my core. It was that simple. My mind and heart opened at that moment to the realization that somebody could be looking at me that way too. If I wanted compassion, I needed to give compassion to absolutely everybody. And that was a huge changing point in my life. Now when I see something or when someone pushes my buttons, my automatic response is, I don't walk in their shoes. What could be creating that hurt inside of them that makes that outward expression to somebody else? And it's just gone. I move on, I send them love. So I'm going to leave you with one of my favorite quotes, one of my other favorite quotes that I put in here. It's by Mason Cooley, and it's, compassion brings us to a stop, and for a moment we rise above ourselves. To me, rising above ourselves means seeing others through their lens, their pain, and wrapping them in love and kindness. That's compassion. Thank you so much for hanging with me today, and bring on compassion in your life and be aware of how it changes what you're seeing and your happiness. Thanks. Have a great day.